Next up, this is a big one. This is really a big one, but kind of a letdown. So this is Gundam live-action movie concept art revealed by Netflix. New official concept art reveals a first look at plans for the Gundam live-action movie from Kong Skull Island director Jordan Vogt Roberts. There could be some silence in there. You know, I'm not really good with pronunciations, but how can you not remember this director's name? There's not many people that have the name with Vogt in it. Dash something, right? So no, let's look at this. So here we go. It's a screenshot, which, to be honest, if I saw the headline, hey, here's concept art for the Gundam live action movie, I'm like, oh, really? Well, let's see what it is. Then we look at this and it's like, well, I mean, it's really not much there. This could be a screenshot from Gundam Battle Operation 2 or some mobile game. Really, this does nothing. And that reminds me of, what was it? The Obi-Wan movie series that's coming out on Disney Plus. They released some concept art. Okay. I mean, the concept art really does nothing because when it comes to what's in production, usually it looks a lot different. But if we're going to go by what they plan to do with Gundam and we want to look at the concept art, here's a couple things we're going to look at here. One, there's some interesting scaling going on, I guess, with the proportions, but it does seem to generally be really based on the RX-78-2, and I say that because of the chest armor versus the shoulder armor. If we look at the beam sabers, those beam saber handles are quite large. It reminds me more of what we'd see from the Double Zeta Gundam with the beam saber handles. If we look at the V-fin itself, it has kind of that extra flare to it. It's not just straight up a V. You can kind of see where there's a little bit of detailing on the top there. That reminds me more of things you'd see in like Wing or Seed, right? So then we have the side vent parts on the I was about to say helmet, but it's the head. It's not a helmet worn by anyone. It's a head. And even the curves there, like, it's more bulbous. It's not like in line with the rest of the head. To me, that looks like, again, something from Wing. I don't know if they're purposely going for something that looks Wing-like because I guess Gundam originally was more popular due to Wing when it was released in the United States, even though I never really got into it. But at the same time, that looks similar to the Atlas Gundam. The Atlas Gundam kind of had that design as well. The Atlas Gundam being from Thunderbolt, which Thunderbolt does take place during the One-Year War, 0079. And from there's hints about, like, and if we scroll down here, I think there's a point here where it says, I want to create this film and give them an access point where you can say, this is where you start. This is your entry point. So now the editorial goes on to say an origin story. And then that seems what that implies. But it's really hard to say. So if this is an origin story, is it that this isn't necessarily the RX-78-2, but maybe a prototype of the RX line? Is this the RX-78-2? I mean, what we're seeing here is a lot of battle damage. I mean, both arms have damage. We're seeing the shoulder missing here. It's in a hangar with flames. The flames are not to scale with a giant walking robot. These flames are quite large. So it's very interesting to see this concept art because it really doesn't say much. And I mean, it could just be me, but the concept art is not going to do much. And unless anyone has any other takes that I'm missing, you know, please post them in the comments, because really just looking at this, it does not seem like it's really anything other than the people that are working on this are trying to get started getting used to designing giant robots in Blender or whatever CGI program they're using. So yeah, please let me know what you think. I am not sold on this in terms of it really meaning anything. But I guess because there's been some time between the announcement of the Netflix live action. In fact, if we want to go beyond the Netflix live action, it was already announced that there was going to be a Gundam live action film from Legendary. And that went silent for a long time. And then it came back with the director of Kong Skull Island Jordan Vogt Roberts making this, which I have total faith in, to be honest. I mean, my default reaction is this is going to be good. I'm just saying that releasing this concept art doesn't really do anything for me. So let me know what you guys think. It's very interesting.